This is a second attempt at doing some high res shots. Right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to look at these with a 17mm f1.8 set to f5, a reasonable aperture. I think we don't need much depth of field because everything's at the same distance. So we've chosen silent mode. Okay, 4-second delay. Actually, I could just take 4 exposures by putting 4 in here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do them separately. Okay, so this is just 1 exposure. Okay, I mean you can have more obviously, but we're just going to have 1, and I'm going to do this 3 times. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to go, it's conveniently at this end, high res shot. Now with high res shot, I've actually got, hopefully, a 4-second delay on it. Okay, I've got a 4-second delay, a 4-second delay. Okay. So let's do it again. I'm point f5 and I'm 0.3 stops overexposed because there's some white. Okay, it's building the shot. There's some good quality printed material there. So I might measure the distance as well. It's going to be about 1 meter and a bit. There's some small print on there. And there's some high quality print. And one more, this is the 50 megapixel JPEG. But it'll also take a RAW because I'm in RAW plus JPEG mode. At least I hope I am. Just have to make sure that I am. Yes, 50 megapixel plus RAW. Okay, yeah. These are Olympus Vision Age magazines, which are absolutely kind of beautifully printed. Nice ink. There's some small writing there on the cover of this. Vision Age Photography Competition 1988. And here's some slightly rougher quality print. It's not too bad though. From the Dave Smith Sequential Circuits book. I'm wondering if I'll be able to see the texture of the paper. It's probably asking a lot, because the lens probably isn't that sharp. This isn't quite such a well printed photo. I want to be able to see the difference in quality between those photos and these photos, and to be able to see this sort of writing at the bottom here. So we'll see what it looks like. Now, just initial impression, what have we got from these 3 images? Okay, these are, now there you've got the shutter curtain on the OM2, which is on there. Okay, this is at times 14, so these are the 3 high res ones, all identical, and then the other, the LSF plus RAW, all of those little corners are rounded off, aren't they? They're not square anymore. And they're all little squares on the original image. Like that. So there's quite a substantial difference between LSF plus RAW. I mean, look at the other stuff. Look at the darker stuff, which is the metal insides of an Olympus OM2. There's a lot of difference there. You see the screw? The screw's like a Phillips head screw. You can't see it there, and you can see it there. What I should have done is I should have chosen my ISO much more carefully, shouldn't I? What ISO 1600. I should be getting some noise. I'm going to go and choose a much lower ISO, and I'm going to do it again. Let's choose ISO 400, shall we? Why don't we choose ISO 200? You get a long shutter speed then. 1/3 of a second. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll do it at ISO 200. And we're going to do... Well, let's do the raw ones. Let's do the high-res ones first. Okay. I'm going to have to stay very still. It's going to take longer to do them. This is about 1/3 of a second exposure. This is an E-M5 Mark III, by the way. 17mm f1.8 lens. Okay. Should be waiting 4 seconds to take the pictures. Doesn't feel like 4 seconds, does it? And the actual exposure, so it does them quite quickly, is 1/3 of a second at f5. Squeeze the shutter. Okay. And now I'm going to do 3 more. I'm going to do 3 more at silent mode. And these are now LSF plus RAW. And that's full resolution for the camera normally. Silent mode. 4 seconds cell timer. Okay. Okay, let's have a look at those. Let's have a look at these. Okay, we shouldn't have any noise this time. Okay, so this is pretty small print. This is at 14 times. Okay, so we're looking at some fairly small print there. And we're looking at the OM2 shutter curtain again, as big as we can. And you can see things are rounded off. Okay, there's the 3 images we've just taken. And what about the high res? Oh, the high res. You can see the corners of those pixels, can't you? You can see the corners, even with my shaky hands. Yeah, very clearly. What about the writing? Let's have a look at some of the writing. Let's have a look at the details in the bottom of the camera here. Some capacitors or something there. Okay, that's the normal image. It's okay, I suppose. And then the high-res image. It's quite a lot better, isn't it? Let's go and have a look somewhere else at these visions. We should be pretty much in focus. Oops. Obviously moved the image very slightly. Right, so these are the 3 normal ones. There's a high res one. There's a lot of difference. And there's the next 3 high res ones that I took before. And there's the normal ones. Okay. So, yes, there's quite a lot of difference. Okay, let's go and have a look at some of that small writing up in the corner of this. Oh, it's going to be difficult to see. The International Magazine of Photographic whatever information, 1988. This is at 14 times. 1, 2, 3, ordinary. Oops. Let's see which image we've got here. I don't even know which image I've got here now. Oh. Okay. There. The ordinary one. You can't read it. And high res you can read it. High res you can read it, and we're coming to the ordinary images again in a minute. There we go. And you can't read it. Okay. I thought that would be quite a hard test. Let's have a look at this text. Okay. Let's go to the high res ones. They're the high res ones in the middle, and the non-high res ones, you can't really quite see it all, can you? The high res ones are here. There's a lot of difference. Let's have a look at the details in these buildings. The non-high res ones are like that, and the high res ones are like that. You can see the windows in the buildings more clearly. Okay, let's go and have a look a bit further afield. There's the wall. Ooh, okay, there's some small writing near the corner of the image. Non-high res versus high res. So here's the last 3, which are non-high res. LSF, okay, plus raw, and then the high res is that. There's the difference. There's the difference. Okay, so let's just make sure we got that right. Okay, that's non-high res and that is high res. There. And that is non-high res. So let's do the high res first. Let's see if we do actually have a high res image. Yes, we do. The next one is not. It's LSF plus raw. So yes, that is the lower image quality, and that is the higher image quality. And there is definitely a substantial difference. So the high res shot actually is pretty good. Look at the writing there. Ken Sasaki's macro photography. Absolutely. There's a major difference there. And these Vision Age magazines and the competitions that went with, I mean, these were wonderful, wonderful, wonderful magazines. Advertising the products, of course, but all kinds of macro photography, sports photography. Well, if you've got, yeah, a 250mm f2, I suppose you're going to do okay with sports photography. But yes, and taking pictures of flowers inside water droplets. That's wonderful, actually. Very fascinating. I mean, there's all kinds of sort of creativity in this. Look, Olympus Camera Centre in London. I mean, this was like the late 80s, mid-80s, 1984, just about the launch time of the OM4. And that's what the OM2 shutter curtain looked like. I might actually try a different lens and see if any of the lenses is sharper than this 17 f1.8 at f whatever we used. What did we use? f5? f5. We used f5. Okay, this video is over.